Good evening, race fans, and welcome out to the Southern National Speedway for round number 12 of the North-South Racing League's ZooFab Garage Street Stock Series as we get ready to close in, as this is the penultimate race of the season here with Bryan Hacker atop of the scoring heap. But right now we would like to thank ZooFab Garage. Located in Tennessee, ZooFab Garage is your one-stop shop for fabrication and power on your performance vehicle, track car, or street car. You can find them on Facebook to contact them and start your next project today. ZooFab Garage. Kelly's Custom Engraving is locally owned and operated in North Carolina, specializing in custom engraving of wood, leather, glass, acrylic, and many more materials. Be sure to like and follow their Facebook page to view all their amazing products and place your order today. RC2 Promotions is an iRacing special event organizer that can help manage your special events. They offer quality consulting, event planning, and promotion, and a full-service event management for competitive prices. If you have an idea for an iRacing special event, RC2 Promotions can make it happen. They can handle every detail from your event, from recruiting competitors to race day event management. With 7 years of experience on iRacing and over 10 years of experience in special event planning, RC2 Promotions makes your idea a reality. Wizards Designs is a sign maker located in Illinois, specializing in logo signage for streamers, signs with LED lighting, laser cut wood, and changing colors. Also making beanbag boards, flags, designs, and so much more. Check them out on Facebook for all their products. J&G Hardwood Flooring, located in Tennessee, and serves all of Middle Tennessee. Owners Josh and Brandon have over 35 years of experience to serve all of your flooring needs, from new construction, remodels, or even small repairs. For estimates and scheduling, call today at 615-904-2218. And Dualizer is the proud sponsor of the Dualizer Pole Award, which we are headed to Dualizer qualifying. And this is located in Columbus, Ohio. Cold brews, good times, and political conversations, and of course the drink of choice here at the races. Dualizer is the official drink of the NSRL. Dualizer asks all drivers to please drink responsibly. And with that, we bring in our sidekick, Mr. Kelly Dahl, as qualifying is underway.
Yeah, qualifying underway, and Ryan Johnson already beating his previous track record. He has put down a 15.378. We didn't even see him time that fast in practice, so it is a question of who is going to be able to catch up to Johnson, if anyone. I mean, the big story, of course, is the battle between himself and Bryan Hacker for the championship as we get into the second to last race of the season, but things are really going to come down to the wire, but so far, no one able to come close to Ryan Johnson. The next driver is nearly a full tenth of a second slower than him.
Yeah, taking a look at those fast times right now, you see Johnson with a 15.37, Matt Cook with a 15.46 as we watch the driver out of Illinois, the number 5 of Scott Austin out there. And he goes second quick, Kelly, with a 15.45 on lap number 1.
Yeah, still only half the field has taken a time so far, so a number of drivers still waiting for their opportunity. Scott Austin going to come across second time, just slightly slower with a 15.464. So it seems like the first and second laps could be quick here. We got Adam Gable now out on the racetrack. He's about halfway through his first timed lap.
Sharp looking race car, the black and white 91 on time, coming off turn number 4, and he will slot into P number 2 with a 15.44 for Adam Gable. Gable in the 91 car. And Kelly, with the amount of cars that are still left to go, he might be able to make that into the RC2 Promotions redraw.
And second lap a little bit slower as he got loose, looked like off of both 2 and 4. Maybe just trying to see where the limits of the car are now that he had that fast time in there. Still a few minutes left here in qualifying. A number of cars have not taken a lap just yet. And looks like we have Rodney Huntoon finally rolling out along with Bryan Hacker.
As we take a look at the race advance here for the Dixie Thunder 125, located in Lucama, North Carolina. This 0.4 of a mile. We'll go 50 miles, 125 laps here tonight, Kelly. That is the scheduled distance. And again, we've had 6 races here, 4 of them in street stocks. And as you alluded to, Ryan Johnson breaking his track record by 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, Rodney Huntoon looks like he'll go in 5th, maybe 6th now as Bryan Hacker. He puts his first time on the board, and he's not going to reach Ryan Johnson. He's going to be a 15.415. Ultimately, that will not matter as Hacker won last week. He will have to start from the back of the field, but this is going to shake things up here in the race, showing that Johnson may just be faster around the track here tonight.
Yeah, right now, Phillip Martin on the racetrack in the Weltmeyer Engineering car number 46. He slots in this P6 on lap number 1 with a 15.47. Lap number 2 a little bit slower. Dustin Shepard out there on the racetrack now for his qualifying time. Shepard slotted in to 16th on lap number 1. Lap number 2 is going to be quicker, and he'll go 8th quick with a 15.49. So still Ryan Johnson there, and he is looking for a championship run, as I believe all 16 cars that are unloaded from their trailers, Kelly, as we take a look at those point standings coming into tonight. Bryan Hacker sits atop of the scoring pylon for your current championship standings here tonight, as he sits there 19 markers in front of Ryan Johnson. He's got 4 wins, which one of those coming 1 week ago from the Slinger Speedway there in Slinger, Wisconsin. And Kelly, we're headed right now into the RC2 Promotions redraws. They start to corral back down here below us as we get ready to go with that. Remember, RC2 Promotions is an all you can stop for event management. You can check them out on Facebook.com and reach out to Robbie. We can't thank RC2 Promotions for the top 8 redraw, and as per usual, they'll be able to choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 here tonight for your top 8 qualifiers. And this is what it'll look like, Kelly, and I believe almost everybody's there.
I think we've got everyone, so we can go along and get started here with our pole sitter.
Our pole sitter, the driver of that number 38 with a new track record. Knocking down your old track record, Ryan, but you're coming out here making a statement here. 19 markers to make up. Can you make up some ground here tonight at Southern National?
Oh, man, I don't know. We're going to try, though. We started off good. We got the pole, so that's pretty cool. Feels like it's been forever since we've got one. But, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see.
All right. Well, you have the pick of the litter 1 through 8 as you are our fast time here, the Dualawiser Pole Award, so congratulations on that. Let's see where you'll start the feature here tonight for the Dixie Thunder 125.
Let's go with number 5.
Number 5 will come off the board, and it is going to be P number 8 for you. So fastest car going to have to start on the outside of row number 4. Not the best of luck here in the RC2 Promotions redraw, but can you get it done over 125 laps?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. We just keep making challenges for ourselves.
Well, we look forward to see what this 38 car will do here tonight. Best of luck to you, Ryan. I know it's a little disappointing, but we'll watch you and see how you do here tonight. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Ryan Johnson, fastest car here, Kelly. He's going to have to start P number 8.
Yeah, but we're going to be moving along here. Going to catch up with Gary Eschen, driver of the number 23. Gary, times in qualifying are very tight. How are you feeling about your chances tonight?
Actually, not too bad.
All right, well, Ryan Johnson took number 5, which means he'll be starting in P8, so good news for you. You can't start that far back, but what number would you like to take tonight?
Let's do number 4.
Number 4 coming off the board. That means you will be starting on the outside of row 2 in P4.
Sounds good.
All right, Gary, good luck to you tonight. Hopefully you can get that good run, and we'll be talking to you later on.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
As Gary Eschen, he'll be starting back there in P number 4.
P number 4, so 8 and 4 starting positions off the book. And our third fastest driver here, or 4th overall, but picking 3rd is driver of this 91 car, the on-time entry of Adam Gable. And Adam, car looking pretty sporty out there tonight. What's your outlook here for the Dixie 125?
Hopefully I can compete tonight. It's been a struggle this year, but hopefully we can put it in victory lane tonight.
Well, the pole is still out there available. Numbers 4 and 5 are off the board, so you can choose any other number than that. What's it going to be?
Let's do 2.
Number 2, and that is going to be P3. So inside row number 2, pretty good starting spot.
It's a good starting spot.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight, Adam. We look forward to see what this 91 car will do. We'll keep it up front.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
There you go, driver of the 91, Adam Gable. He'll start P number 3, Kelly, as you catching up now with our 5th qualifier. That would be Scott Austin.
Yeah, here now with the driver of the 5 and the number 5 in the qualifying session. And Scott, we've got 2, 4, and 5 off the board. What number do you want tonight?
Let's take number 7.
Taking number 7, that means you are going to be starting in P5. So inside line, how are you liking that starting spot?
Starting on the inside should be good. For some reason, I usually like this track. It's kind of like a, somebody stretched out slinger a little bit, but for some reason I can't get it right now. So if I have to figure it out during the race, and starting on the inside will help.
Well, hopefully you can get things sorted out, and hopefully we will be talking to you later tonight. But good luck to you, and hopefully we'll see you later on.
Thanks, guys.
That is Scott Austin, the driver of the 5, 5th fastest in qualifying, and going to be starting in P number 5. So he's got a bit of a theme going on tonight.
He does. Another driver with a 5 in his number. This is the number 15 of Matt Cook. And Matt Cook put the 6th qualifying time in here tonight, making it into the RC2 Promotion Top 8 redraw. What's it going to take here to stay up front as you are going to start inside the top 4 rows?
Well, just keep it clean and try to be there at the end of the race, I think is the biggest thing.
This track very difficult to be fast on, but I believe it is possible we're going to see maybe 2, maybe 3 grooves come into play, especially if you get a long green flag run. What's it take to move around and maybe find that grip?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, find where you're comfortable with, make solid lap times, and then hopefully you find something that nobody else does.
All right, we're halfway through this redraw. Still, the poles available. We have 1, 3, 6, and 8 to choose from. The front row is still available, if I am correct, Kelly.
That's right.
So what number is it going to be?
I'll take number 8.
Number 8 coming off the board, and that will be outside front row, P number 2 for Matt Cook. And you're going to be able to see that green flag wave from the front row. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me, guys. We'll see what happens.
All right, best of luck, Matt. We'll hopefully be talking to you after 125 laps.
Thanks, guys.
Matt Cook going to start on the outside of the front row. Kelly, that pole spot, though, still available. Maybe the next driver up, Phillip Martin, will be able to grab the pole.
Yeah, so far the pole has been eluding these guys, but next up we've got Phillip Martin, driver of the number 46. Phillip, what do you think it's going to take to win after 125 laps here at Southern National?
Some luck. For me,
Well,
anyways.
Well, we saw last week you guys were able to get a long green flag run at Slinger, so you guys might be able to manage that here at Southern National. So let's move on to picking your spot, though. The pole is still out there. Nobody has found that yet. However, if you don't get pole, you're getting either 6th or 7th. Your options for numbers are 1, 3, and 6.
Let's go 3.
Number 3 means you are going to be starting in P number 6. So unfortunately, outside line for you. Do you think it's going to be a struggle on that initial start on the outside?
It might be. If the track was a little more worn in, it'd be better. But at the start, it's gonna be a little rough.
Well, thankfully you don't have to deal with those new marbles that are going to be coming in the next update. So good luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later tonight.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
So Phillip Martin starting in P number 6. Let's keep moving along. Al, who you got next?
I'm down here with the driver of the ZooFab Garage, number 89, Mr. Dustin Shepard. And Dustin, I'm going to start off with a positive and then a negative.
Okay.
The pole is still out there, but so isn't P number 7.
So my reversed thought process almost worked. I'm gonna qualify 8th and see if the pole's just there for me. But
It could be there. I mean, you never know. Southern National, one of my favorite race tracks to come to and visit, and another high bank short track, 4/10 of a mile, 125 laps. What's it going to take to maybe be in victory lane here this season?
just good steady pace, and if there's no cautions, saving your tires. I mean, that's, like I said, it's a blast to race here. So it's just all about saving the right side tires. And if you pit or not, I mean, 2 tires under caution for sure. Other than that, saving tires.
Well, we'll see how you save those tires. You're going to either end up in P7 or P1, the number 1 and number 6 available to choose from. What's it going to be?
Wow, two polar opposites. I'm gonna pick the pole just cause it'll be number 7, but let's pick one.
Number 1 coming off the board, and it's like you knew it. P7 inside that last row. You knew it. You talked yourself right into it.
Yep, knew it.
Hey, inside line though, is that a good or a bad thing? I know it's not up towards the front where you wanted to be, but the inside line going to be a good place to start?
Definitely early for sure, I think. So I think it'll be good early, and then as tires wear off, that high side will come in handy as you can pinch somebody down and get them loose and whatnot.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Dustin. We hope to be talking to you here tonight at the end of this one. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly, and that means you're going to set up shop with the pole sitter. By luck of qualifying, slowest of the RC2 promotion redraw cars.
Yeah, here now with Rodney Huntoon. And Rodney, bad news, you don't get to pick your position here tonight. Good news, though, everyone else sucks at picking positions. You're starting on the pole.
Well, that didn't work out very well for me last week.
Well, do you think you'll be able to do it a little bit better this week and hang on up there?
I like this track way better than Slinger, so hopefully.
Well, at least at this track, you at least have a moment to think in between those 2 turns.
That's for sure.
All right, Rodney, we're going to let you go here because we are almost done our warm-up. We're getting ready to go to the grid, so good luck to you tonight.
All right, thank you.
So, Rodney Huntoon, he's starting on the pole purely by virtue of everyone else picking all the other positions. So, it was pole last week, didn't really work out for him. He dropped back hard, but hopefully tonight he'll be able to convert that into maybe a win.
Absolutely, and it was one of those things. Rodney had a rough start to the race last week. Slinger was not up to his cup of tea. We'll see how it turns out here, but we would like to thank RC2 Promotion as being our redraw sponsor. As we head into our race, RC2 Promotions is an iRacing special event organizer that can help manage your special events. They offer quality consulting, event planning, and promotion, and a full-service event management for competitive pricing. If you have an idea for a special event, RC2 Promotions can make it happen. They can handle every detail from your event, from recruiting competitors to race day event management, with 7 years of experience on iRacing and over 10 years experience in event planning. RC2 Promotions can make your idea a reality. If you are interested, you can find them at facebook.com/RC2RP and ask for Robbie. Well, Kelly, it is time for tonight's starting lineup presented by ZooFab Garage, and this is your starting lineup here. As you just said, the top 8 cars Got it all shuffled around. Rodney Huntoon going to be on the pole. Matt Cook second. Adam Gable third. Gary Eschen fourth. Scott Austin, Phillip Martin, Dustin Shepard, and Ryan Johnson will be your top 8. Remember, Bryan Hacker will be moving towards the back of the field. Starting in spot number 11 or 10th will be Austin Williams, Dan Janjanin, Chad McLeod. Running 12th, 13th starting spot will be Braden Campbell, Shane Loveridge from Australia, Randy Nichols, John Cross, and Jeff Bergner aren't able to make the call, Kelly. So that's our 16 cars that are going to make the field here tonight. And what was looking promising for Ryan Johnson, remember, coming in here tonight, 19 points behind Bryan Hacker. Thought he had a great shot here after setting a new track record, but now has to work his way towards the front.
Yeah, Rodney Huntoon looking to hold on where he didn't last week. Pace car down and the way. Green flag is out. We are underway here tonight in the Dixie Thunder 125. Rodney Huntoon leading the field down into turn number 1. Matt Cook on his outside. Cook getting a little bit checked up on the high side. That is going to give Huntoon a big gap for him to go wherever he wants. Oh, a little bit of contact. That's accordions up the field on that bottom side. Looks like Dan Janjanin, the last car to catch that, and it looked like the 33 of Braden Campbell having to slam on the brakes. Now 3 wide into turn 1. Randy Nichols sends it up on the inside. He's going to get around Campbell, and look at the 2 car trying to follow his way through all the way up towards the front.
Yeah, Bryan Hacker's already moved up into the 13th position back there as they were all jostling for position. And he is trying to follow Randy Nichols in that 69 car. Now Hacker would have looked to the inside, backs out of it. Meanwhile, up front, Rodney Huntoon still leads it at the start of this one.
Yeah, Rodney Huntoon leads over Matt Cook, who is ahead of Adam Gable. Gable was able to get himself into a good spot there, even with a few cars checking up on the inside. Our first battle for position looks like it is the 46 of Phillip Martin stuck on the high side, losing ground there to Ryan Johnson as there's a little bit of contact, a little bit behind them. The 69 of Nichols getting a little bit of a tap from Hacker there, as Hacker is looking to keep moving himself up there on inside of the 69 car, or the 69 cars on the inside of our other 2 car of Dan Janjanin. Janjanin has basically been stuck on the high side ever since the start of this race.
Yeah, Janjanin was working the inside there, made a little bit of bumper contact there at the beginning of the race. You got to wonder if maybe knocking the front and that car running a little bit hot up out of the groove, but he'll tuck it back in line behind Bryan Hacker. Bryan Hacker up to the 11th spot as Ryan Johnson has only made it to spot number 7 currently, so not too much movement here early on, but already 7 laps into the books as Rodney Huntoon leads it through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, Huntoon saying that he was a lot more comfortable at this track compared to Slinger, and so far he is showing that. I think by this point in Slinger, he had already dropped back to P5, so Huntoon just trying to keep running his line, running his race, as he continues to lead over Matt Cook, and Matt Cook himself is under fire. He's got Adam Gable right on top of him. Same with Gary Eschen. He is nearly right on the bumper of that 91 car.
Yeah, they run nose to tail back there. Bryan Hacker worked his way around Nichols, so Hacker into the top 10. As he is still side by side back there, but this battle for spot number 3, and they got Scott Austin right there as well. Scott Austin coming into tonight's racing top 5 in points as well. So trying to make the most as he can as Huntoon leads over a half second now over Matt Cook.
Yeah, Rodney's been running some great laps. He's currently holding the best lap of the race as he just pushed hard. And they are going to get our first caution of the night. Trouble back there in the field. Looks like it is Adam Gable who's gone around.
Yeah, Gable going around off of turn number 2. And we were not on there. So I'll have to look back here and see what happened to Adam Gable. Let's bring out our first yellow flag. He was racing right there behind Matt Cook, and Gary Eschen came off the corner. Oh, a little bit of contact between himself and the 23 of Eschen, and I tell you, everybody doing a good job to make it by there without a lot of contact, Kelly. That could have been real big on the backstretch here at Southern National.
I think Randy Nichols caught a little bit of him. There's a slight bit of damage to the back end of Gable, and I think that was from that 69 car. Nichols did come down pit road, took a quick stop there along with a few other cars. Jonathan Cross and Shane Loveridge. Gable was looking to come in, and now he is going to this time around, so I think Gable's just looking to make sure that car is completely okay, maybe refresh those tires after that long skid that he had back there, so he's just going to make sure he is good to go to the end, while the rest of the field is going to stay out.
Looks like they're at least changing right side tires here on pit road, and he'll be down and away. And a tough break for Loveridge, a driver out of Australia, as we head into the Austin Design Shoes for the first time here tonight at Southern National. Pretty evenly, top to bottom.
Yeah, it looks like a few drivers electing to take the risk on the high side. I mean, we saw that it didn't really get these guys anywhere, but I mean, it's going to give an opportunity maybe for Ryan Johnson. He had not been able to move himself up very far, and now look who's directly behind him. It is his championship rival, the number 2 car of Bryan Hacker. So Johnson has got to get himself moving. This race is basically a must-win to set him up for any sort of chance at a championship next week.
Absolutely, and got to stay in front of that number 2 car. You know, those two want to race each other hard and clean like they have all season long. As the pace car is down in the way, we are back underway here in the Dixie Thunder 125.
Yeah, Rodney Huntoon getting a great start. Matt Cook getting stuck on that high side. He was not very fast on the initial start on the high side, and once again, not quite carrying that speed around the top, and that is going to allow Scott Austin through. And now here comes Ryan Johnson. He's got to the inside. Oh, big dive from the top to the bottom. Oh, no, we got Dan Janjanin going around. He is sideways, somehow manages to save it. I think he kept himself off the inside wall, so great wheel work from Dan Janjanin avoids certain disaster.
Great battle there for a nice save by Janjanin. The battle for spot number 4 sees Shepard, who slammed it or shut on Bryan Hacker to go in from the outside to the inside to get around Matt Cook. Now Cook falling back to the clutches of Bryan Hacker and the 85 of Williams. Randy Nichols, who came down on pit road, he's working the outside, making it work as he works the outside of the Mills 23 of Gary Eschen.
Yeah, car's still battling. Oh, the 85 gets loose coming into turn 1. Austin Williams manages to hang on to it and still carries enough speed to get his nose ahead. Now up towards the front of the field, we got a battle for second place. Ryan Johnson has got himself to the inside of Scott Austin. He's going to try to get himself around that 5 car, and if that happens, I would assume Dustin Shepard and Bryan Hacker are going to follow through as well, because that high side just not quite carrying the speed just yet. He is fighting hard there. It may be starting to come in here on lap 24 of a scheduled 125.
Yeah, side-by-side battle back there for spot number 2, and they are still door handle to door handle in the turn number 3. Ryan Johnson working the inside of the racetrack. He's bringing Dustin Shepard. They're going to stack them up 2 by 2, and maybe, like you said, Kelly, the outside getting cleaned off just a little bit, where Scott Austin's been able to hold court to the outside of him. Now Johnson with a full car will slide up in front of him, give Ryan Johnson P number 2.
Yeah, but Bryan Hacker was able to get around Dustin Shepard, but I think that was mainly because of Dustin Shepard into turn 3 and 4 pretty much did a full 4-wheel skid all the way through both of those turns, and that just gave that opportunity to Hacker to move himself up into 4th and keep himself close to Ryan Johnson. Hacker pretty much wants to put it away here tonight. He's trying to find a way in front of that 38 car, but if not, he wants to basically be on that bumper to keep a good points lead going into our final race of the season.
Yeah, came in here tonight 19 points ahead of the driver of the 38 of Ryan Johnson, and Johnson trying to get to the front, going to try to win to put that pressure on him. But remember, a win will mean he'll have to start shotgun next week at Nashville for the season finale.
Yeah, it would definitely be hard to get himself through the field there at Nashville, but if anyone could do it, it is either one of our championship contenders. And now Ryan Johnson starting to open a gap over Scott Austin here, and Austin has got a lot of pressure from his own friend back there right behind him, Bryan Hacker. It is a Hacker, who's running a car that is sponsored by Scott Austin, so you would think that maybe Austin would give way, but at the moment, no, that 5 car is staying where he is, hanging on to P3.
Well, if you don't know Scott Austin, he's going to race you hard. He's going to race you clean. And that's what Bryan Hacker is facing right now, as he's trying to figure out a way around Scott Austin. And remember, this is one we talked to Scott in the tonight's program. This is one of his favorite racetracks. He likes it here, and that's half the battle when you go to these short tracks. You have to like it. I've been to plenty of racetracks and going, man, I don't want to be here. I don't like it. That's not the case for Scott Austin here tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park.
And a couple cars running stacked up throughout the field. We got a bit of a breakaway here at the front, and then Dustin Shepard actually now getting passed here by the 85 of Austin Williams, who has moved himself to the inside. Williams trying to get himself up into the top 5. Shepard trying to hang on as he maybe cooked his tires. We've seen him slide a few times in that black and blue 89 machine, but he's able to carry that speed off the high side. Oh, problems back in the field. Gary Eschen looked like he was getting into Randy Nichols. He's able to hang on to it, though, and now trying to get himself still to the inside of that 69 car, but Nichols able to carry that high side as he may have some fresher tires from that earlier pit stop.
Yeah, Nichols came down and took right side tires during our first yellow flag of the evening, as we see it from high above the blimp. We're watching that battle you were talking about early on, Kelly. Williams and Shepard still side by side, and Phillip Martin in that 46 car working the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to figure out which lane to go. And as they battle side by side, the battle between Nichols and Eschen starting to draw in to make this a 5-car battle.
And we are nearly stacking up the field here. It looks like that high side is starting to come in, at least for the drivers that have saved their tires a little bit. Dustin Shepard carrying some good speed on the high side, not allowing Williams to get himself through. I mean, just a few laps ago, that inside line was so strong that Williams would have just blown right back past Shepard, but that's not quite the case anymore. You have to fight for that position now, and it is no longer a guaranteed thing if you just get your nose to the inside.
And I think the longer we run, we're going to see that outside lane become maybe a place you can make a pass. As we say that, Randy Nichols looks to the inside underneath the 46. It is now Nichols underneath them. He gets a little bit loose. Here comes Gary Eschen into the battle. Great battle for the 7th position as Nichols trying to take it away, as Williams and Shepard still duel it out. Up front here, though, this is a great battle inside the top 10. Oh, Shepard, here comes Nichols. He'll dive it to the inside in turn number 3.
Yeah, Shepard caught the wall on the back straightaway, and that is going to open things up here. As we kind of almost looked like the 46 of Martin was looking to kind of throw himself up the middle here. Thought better of it, and that is, I think, a good call. A move up the middle down the front straightaway would have been ambitious, to say the least. Now, as I'm saying, the 69 car gets loose. He's going to go around in front of the field. Big wreck for Randy Nichols. Hard impact right at the start-finish line, and the caution flag is going to fly for the 2nd time here tonight.
It looks like Nichols going to be able to roll away. It doesn't look like the car really beat up that much there, Kelly. Is yellow flag number 2 coming out here tonight?
No, looking back, he actually managed to only barely scrape the wall. We'll have to see on the replay here what he was able to do to slow that car up, but he's got barely any damage to that thing. I thought he was nosing in hard.
Yeah, I tell you, just barely. Maybe, I don't even know if he touched it, to be honest with you, Kelly. We'll take another look at that. You saw him really working, battling hard with the 23 of Gary Eschen. Let's see here. We'll go back here and take a look at this off the front, battling underneath the 89. So we'll got washed up in the middle of the corner. He got loose. Lightest of taps there. So I think Nichols going to be okay.
Well, big story is pretty much everyone came down pit road. Rodney Huntoon came down a lap later after noticing everyone was pitting, and he made a mistake coming into his box, so he is going to go way to the back. The lead is going to be taken over by Ryan Johnson. And look at that. Who's in 2nd place? Bryan Hacker.
And the cars you see in front of Johnson are going to try to take the wave around here. A tough break for Huntoon. He was really running well. Looks like the field going to come to the Austin Designs choose cone. This time by, I'm thinking.
I believe they're choosing here, so I'm going to see where these guys are going. Of course, Johnson to the inside, and look at Hacker also going to follow him. Top 3 all going to the bottom side as Jonathan Cross follows him down. First driver to take the chance on the high side is going to be the 46 of Phillip Martin, and we've seen that high side starting to come in, so this may be a good call for Martin.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see here, not too many cars choosing that outside lane. Shepard, Huntoon, Williams, the only 4 cars choosing the outside.
Yeah, so we thought Huntoon had kind of dropped all the way to the back of the field because of his choice of when to pit, but because of how the drivers took the choose cone, I think he's moving himself to the outside of the second row, so gonna cost them a little bit, but honestly not that bad.
Yeah, not really sure. Ronnie Huntoon trying to get up there as well, as I think Shepard maybe had a penalty. Green flag is up. We're back underway here. And Ryan Johnson going to jump out to the early race lead. Here comes Bryan Hacker side by side with the 46 car of Phillip Martin. And Martin, he's been right there in the top 3, top 5 all night long. He's got a good hot rod. He's going to try to slot back in. He'll drop it back in front of John Cross. And how about John Cross here tonight looking pretty sporty, Kelly?
Yeah, Jonathan Cross starting in 16th. He's up into 4th. Biggest mover of the night if you don't consider Bryan Hacker, who had to start on the tail end of the field due to his winter EOL. So big moves here from Jonathan Cross, and big moves a little bit further back there. It looks like the 85 of Austin Williams, who's actually scored a lap down, fighting hard with that 5 of Scott Austin as he tries to maintain or get himself back on the lead lap and maybe get himself into a lucky dog position.
Yeah, Matt Cook would be the first car 1 lap down back in spot number 10, so he's trying to stay there. But you got some lap cars behind him that are trying to move their way up through as well. The top 4 cars all single file. Dustin Shepard running in spot number 5. 1 spot behind him is car number 5 of Austin. He'll get by. Williams as well. Austin Williams and Matt Cook battling for that lucky dog position. They've got Gary Eschen and Adam Gable right there behind them. So this caution really mixing up the field. Got some lappers battle within the battle as they all work around the Southern National Motorsports Park.
Yeah, I think a couple drivers may have tried to take 4 tires and that put them a lap down, or maybe there was just some issues with timing and scoring, and you know, either way it has shuffled the field up. But look at the front of the field. Ryan Johnson, Bryan Hacker, nose to tail here coming into turn number 1. And it looks like Hacker is putting a lot of pressure on his championship rival. This can really be the championship right here. If Hacker is able to get a win here and score a good amount of points over Johnson, I mean, it would take a monumental race next week for Ryan Johnson to be able to win the championship.
We saw a slugger, not of a match last week at Slinger between these two. Ryan Johnson did everything but dump the number 2, trying to get into victory lane, and it was a great battle. Probably one of the best races we've seen all season long. And I tell you, we've seen a lot of great races this season, Kelly, here with the ZooFab Garage Street Stock Series, and each and every week really look forward to coming to these races, and really proud to be part and on tap for the Pro Late Models coming up next season.
Yeah, the Pro Late Models should hopefully put on as good of a show as these street stocks have so far this season. I mean, we still have this race and 1 more to go, but looking through the field, everyone is kind of strung out here a little bit. The pretty much all of the lead lap cars have gotten themselves around the lappers. Unfortunately, Rodney Huntoon, he has dropped all the way back into 9th. Last car on the lead lap after that restart. So bad luck continuing for that 12 car after a good opening 50 laps from him this race. But still, the battle for the race lead and for the championship is between Johnson and Hacker at the front of the field. They are running away from these guys. Pretty much 0.8 of a second separate Hacker from Phillip Martin in 3rd place.
And right now you got to be wondering, are they pushing each other a little bit too hard here? We suspect, since everyone has pitted, they can make it on fuel from this point forward. We know it was questionable if it went green to checkered here tonight, Kelly. Already 2 yellow flags. I believe they should have enough of that fuel, race fuel, in the tank to make it. But we'll see what happens here as the stages go, as we close just past the halfway point of tonight's Dixie Thunder 125. Is Ryan Johnson leads it over Bryan Hacker. Phillip Martin runs in third. Fourth is Jonathan Cross. Then is Dustin Shepard running in P5. Sixth spot belongs to Scott Austin. Gary Eschen is in seventh. Eighth spot, Adam Gable. Rodney Huntoon is ninth. And rounding out your top 10 at the halfway point is the 85 of Austin Williams.
Yeah, battle still raging for the race lead right now. Hacker putting a lot of pressure on Johnson. He gets right up to the bumper pretty much in every corner here. We are nearing the or I think we have just passed the halfway point of this race. And still, Hacker has not found a way around Johnson. May just be trying to push him into making a mistake, but each time he gets to the exit of the corner, and it looks like he surges ahead just a little bit and gets right up to the 38 car. Now he is closer than he has ever been, pretty much inhaling the exhaust fumes right off the back of that car.
Yeah, trying to take and find a way around, as you see out the back side of Ryan Johnson's car. Just how close Bryan Hacker is. And I don't know, I don't think you can fit a slice of paper between those two. Maybe a little bit of contact. Hang on to her. These boys, Bryan Hacker letting Ryan Johnson know, hey, I'm back here and I'm ready to play.
As you mentioned, these guys had a slugfest last week at Slinger. I mean, not as much as you'd maybe expect from Slinger. They didn't really step out of line, but there was a little bit of contact between them. I mean, they both considered it to be fair play, and Hacker was appreciative that Johnson didn't take it that one step forward. So I'm sure Hacker's going to try to repay him in kind and try to race him clean, but we'll see if the allure of that checkered flag and pretty much securing the championship gets the better of him.
Yeah, I just noticed that time off turn number 4, Hacker able to keep the number 2 car a little bit lower on the racetrack. Ryan Johnson running about a half a car length off the bottom, and he washes up off of turn number 4, Kelly. Is Bryan thinking that might be a place, or is the 38 trying to bait him to the inside?
That time off of 2, there was a dark streak left off the right rear of that 2 car, so he is pushing it hard. He can't be leaning on that right rear too much, or else he is going to get really loose by the time we get towards the end of this race, because with how these drivers drive and race each other, who knows if we're even going to get another caution before the end of this. These guys might have to ride these tires all the way to the end, but look how close Hacker is. He's getting right up to him off of turn number 4, and I think you're right. He may try to make that move on the exit of 4.
I'll see this time into the corner, maybe a little bit of contact. Nope, just right there, close enough to the back side of that Wiseco number 38 of Ryan Johnson, and he is trying to hold off the number 2 of Bryan Hacker. And right now, everybody kind of just settling in around the racetrack. This is the closest battle for position.
Oh. No, we just have Dustin Shepard move to the inside of Jonathan Cross as Cross slid up in turns 3 and 4. It was a big 5-car lane here from 4th place all the way back into... oh no, that's another car that is not actually for position. He's just a lap car trying to hang on, but it was 5 cars racing each other here for track position as Shepard gets himself to the inside of that 10 car, just cannot quite make the pass stick yet.
As Shepard throws it down in the corner, gets a little bit sideways. Cross working the outside of the racetrack. You got the 5 of Scott Austin. And here comes Gary Eschen, 2x2. 2 rows deep they're working. Shepard going to slide up in front of Cross. Cross gives him a little bit of a love tap into turn number 3. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. And you don't think these gloves are off here, closing in on 40 laps to go. This one will be over in a blink of an eye here, Kelly. And it's been a great one. Once again, what we've come to love with the North-South Racing League's ZooFab Garage Street Stock Series. And these guys put it on each and every week. Is now Gary Eschen on the attack underneath the number 10 across.
Yeah, and you're going to see good battles all throughout the field here with this league, as Eschen is now showing that here as they fight for 6th place. Eschen going to have the nose ahead coming off of turn 4, not quite clear of him just yet, and just in front of them, Scott Austin putting the pressure on Shepard. Shepard going to be up towards the wall, nearly gets into it, however, going to keep enough speed to hold off the 5 of Johnson for now, or of Austin for now.
Now Austin to the inside. He's got the right front quarter panel. Now they draw even. They'll be number to number off the corner. Shepard into the marbles and into the outside wall. Allows Austin in the spot number 4. Scott Austin making the move. Gary Eschen right there as well. Williams, he's playing a little bit of hard ball with the 23 of Gary Eschen. He tries to put some assurance cars between himself and Matt Cook. If that yellow flag were to fly, he would be in that lucky dog position. So now as things settle themselves out, Ryan Johnson has opened up a half-second lead over Bryan Hacker.
Yeah, Hacker was a little bit faster on that previous lap. However, I mean, as you mentioned, Johnson has pulled the gap open that time there. Johnson a little bit faster, nearly by over a full 1/10 of a second. So Ryan Johnson has found some speed. Hacker may have burned up his tires while he was pressuring Johnson, or maybe he's pulling back and holding off, trying to save a little bit for the last dash of this race. But we are under 40 to go, and laps will tick by quickly here.
Last time by, they swapped the fast lap. Hacker was a little bit quicker than Johnson this time at the line. They are dead even, so cars pretty even up there, and they are about 4/10 of a second separating your top two. Phillip Martin just out there running in spot number 3 as Gary Eschen and Dustin Shepard battle it off for turn number 4. They're side by side in the turn number 3. They'll roll through turns 1 and 2, come off the corner. Eschen with the advantage, and they're bringing the Wheelers 85 of Williams to the inside as well. That is not for position, but Williams' car pretty quick to trot right now in that 85 car.
Yeah, Austin Williams had a fairly decent car, was running a little bit further up than midfield, but I think just got a little bit of trouble on that caution, either mistimed something and got stuck a lap down. So he does have some pace, but just is hoping to get himself in a spot that he can maybe get a lucky dog, but he has to hope for a caution first, and with just over 30 to go, that chances for that are disappearing.
That they are, and John Cross now working underneath Matt Cook, because that's not for position. Top two have stabilized. Phillip Martin's got a 2-second lead over Scott Austin. As Austin trying to leave that battle behind him, but he knows Gary Eschen is coming. And Eschen, he's been quick this season, Kelly. Just no luck on the side of the driver of the 23 car. Having a good run here tonight, though.
Yeah, Eschen has got himself in the top 10 in points. I mean, he has a couple wins and a few top 5s and top 10s, but he just has not been able to really get consistent. He's had bad luck strike him a few times, which has kind of killed his overall chances in the championship. But still, he is a contender week in and week out. You cannot discount that 23 car. He'll at least be running towards the top half of the field, and tonight he's got himself into a solid top 5 for the time being.
That they do, and they are working it right down through turns 3 and 4. Johnson still quicker, opening that gap a little bit more as we close in on 30, working towards 25 laps to go.
Yeah, getting on to lap 98 of 125, and Ned Johnson is just cruising right now. I mean, that gap is 0.7 of a second and increasing. I think Hacker did destroy his tires. He pushed too hard too early, and even if he does, or even if I'm wrong and he's been saving, I mean, that's a big gap that he's got to make up, and he's going to have to do so soon because, as we saw, it's not easy to make a pass here anymore. It's no longer just to get to the inside and get through, but you are going to have to fight tooth and nail for it, and it seems now that Johnson is still increasing that lead.
Yeah, Bryan Hacker now working that middle groove and losing time a little bit more to Johnson. Johnson right back to the bottom side of the racetrack. So lap traffic looming with 25 laps to go. The first car they will catch, I believe, is the 93 of Chad McLeod. good battle here. And I tell you, Adam Gable and Rodney Huntoon are battling it back there for spot number 8. And they're just got around the driver from Australia, Kelly. Shane Loveridge. And this guy is awesome. We're racing in the middle of the day down in Australia on his lunch break. Gotta love the dedication.
Yeah, a lot of dedication there from the driver of the 72 car, but looking towards the front of the field, looks like Ryan Johnson is pretty much on top of Chad McLeod. We'll have to see what McLeod is going to do. I would assume that he's going to keep himself high and out of the way. That's what he's doing right now, running in that second lane and going to be allowing Johnson to take the fast lane. Yeah, and he was going to go way up the racetrack this time, so giving Johnson a ton of space, and he's going to allow Ryan to easily move through. That lead now over a second to back to Bryan Hacker. So with 21 laps to go, make it 20 and a half. It looks like it is going to be all Ryan Johnson here tonight.
Adam Gable working to the inside of John Cross. That's for spot number 7. Gable and Huntoon. I tell you, Huntoon fell back there, Kelly, but he's starting to make a charge, trying to pick up a few spots here.
Yeah, Jonathan Cross has been struggling for these last few laps. I think he may have torn up his tires. Oh, a little bit of contact between himself and Huntoon, but Huntoon going to charge back there on the inside there in turn 3. Good run off the high side for the 10 car. Just not quite going to be able to get himself clear of Huntoon. Rodney now throws it into the inside once again, but still those two guys are even up. But it is slowly seeming to be working in Rodney Huntoon's favor. Is each lap, each turn even, he is just creeping a little bit further up alongside that 10 car.
And the one thing I'm noticing here too, Kelly, from our vantage point, is the marbles on the outside of the racetrack starting to work their way back down to starting to cover up that second groove there. So the tires really starting to get eaten as we look at Gable, now Huntoon, and the LaFon Heating Gosh Chevrolet number 12 working to the inside of the Cross Motorsports entry of Jonathan Cross. Cross back to the 9th spot now. Meanwhile, Ryan Johnson up front, 14 laps to go, 1 3/4 second lead over Bryan Hacker.
Looks like we have a good battle starting to shape up for 4th place as Gary Eschen is applying some pressure to Scott Austin, and now he's going to get his nose to the inside of that 5 car. Eschen was running a little bit faster off the corners for the last few laps, and way up the racetrack for the 5, nearly gets into the wall. So that outside lane looks like it is disappearing. It has been covered up by those marbles that you're talking about, and you're not quite getting the same grip off of the corner. There is a little bit up there because I think it is a little bit cooler on the racetrack there, but it is not quite working out for some of these drivers.
They are still running door handle to door handle up off of turn number 2 and down the back stretch. And this is a great battle for that 4th spot. And it's 1 second behind Martin with 12 seconds left to go. And I tell you, Martin, it's hard to tell, but I believe that they're starting to close in on the back side of the 46 of Phillip Martin, who holds into that 3rd spot.
Yeah, even as they're battling for position here, and that's high side is starting to clean up a little bit and come in once again. It seems like Austin and Eschen are running faster laps by almost 1/10 of a second. A little bit of contact between the 23 and the 5, and that's going to get Austin sideways a little bit, but Eschen backs off and allows him to regain control of his car. So Scott Austin going to continue to go side by side with Eschen.
Well, Gar, I was licking his chops right there. It might have been the 85 of Williams, thinking, all right, well, yellow flag would mean I get back on the lead lap as long as I don't have any contact with these two. If they end up wrecking, is now Gary Eschen going to try to use the 93 of McLeod as a pick, but McLeod doing the sportsman thing, and up the racetrack he'll go. But so doesn't Scott Austin. Gary Eschen in the spot number 4, and they have closed it right in on Phillip Martin. The battle for the final spot on the podium is on with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, not much time to catch up and pass that 46 car, so Eschen is going to have to get it done quick if he wants to have a chance at it. But at the same time, Scott Austin is still fighting hard, still defending well, and At the same time, he's also closing in with the 46 of Martin. So, problems there for the 85 of Williams. He's down off the racetrack. Looks like he's coming down pit road for some reason.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe not enough fuel to go the distance here. And we got to wonder, even though they came in and pitted the lap 44, does Ryan Johnson have enough fuel to make it to the end? Is that why maybe Bryan backed off, not having enough fuel?
We'll have to wait and see. I would have guessed if these drivers took tires, they would have at least thrown a couple gallons in the tank to get them to the end and maybe have a chance at a green-white checkered. But we'll have to wait and see as the laps tick away here. 4 to go for Ryan Johnson. He has got a huge lead as long as he can make it to the end. That is a 3.5-second lead at this point. So Johnson has run away. Just a few more laps for him, and he will take home the win tonight.
I tell you, a great battle, though, for that 4th spot, which is going to be a battle for third here before too long. Still side by side. They're swapping paint down the backstretch. Eschen and Austin will work off for turn number 4, and they have caught the backside of Phillip Martin with 2 laps to go.
And they're going to have to try to make a move very quickly if they want a chance at it. Here now, it's good Ryan Johnson. He's going to take the white flag. He just has to make it one more time around. As long as he's got enough fuel, the race is his. 3.8 seconds back to Bryan Hacker. One more time through turns 3 and 4. And it is going to be Ryan Johnson taking home the win for the Dixie Thunder 125.
Johnson will win it. There's the battle for third. It's going to be Phillip Martin holding off Gary Eschen and Scott Austin. Bryan Hacker will come home in spot number 2. And, well, maybe just a little bit of a paper cut in the points lead after Southern National. Is Ryan Johnson going to pick up the win after starting in P number 8 here tonight? And Ryan Johnson making a statement, Kelly, saying this one is not over yet.
Yeah, it is not quite done here. The championship is not sealed. We'll have to see how things shape up in the calculations after this one, because there are drop weeks to factor in as well. But we'll see. I think later on tonight they will announce the points, or possibly at least before the next race, we will know where things stand. But we will come into that final race here, and it's really just going to be between Johnson and Hacker, and we'll see which one of these drivers is going to take home the championship this year.
We will, and as we get ready for tonight's ZooFab Garage post-race show, we're going to step away real quick. We thank you for watching here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back to talk with your podium. And welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network as Ryan Johnson burns it down here on the front stretch in celebratory style there, Kelly, as we just saw him pick up the win of the Dixie 125, and it was a great race. And we are headed down trackside for the ZooFab Garage post-race show, and we will catch up with tonight's race winner, the driver of the number 38, set a new track record, lost in the RC2 promotion top 8 redraw, but it didn't matter, Ryan. You're going to come home with a victory here tonight at Southern National.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. That was a lot of fun. More fun than I thought it would have been. I don't know what happened to everybody on that long run we had there. I debated on pitting on that first caution and decided against it. I guess it was a good call because we had that second caution, and I think I drew just about everybody down pit road if they weren't already going to come. But, yeah, man, Hacker's a hell of a guy to try and hold off. I know he was beating my bumper off, it felt like, for probably like 40 laps. But, yeah, we held on.
Yeah, talk about that long run there. I started to wonder if maybe you guys weren't going to have enough fuel in the tank. We know that it was close to start tonight if it went green to checkered. But now we find, you find yourself, you going over about 80 laps there on a tank. How close was it at the end for you?
I took plenty of fuel when we were in the pits just to ensure that we'd make it to the end. If it would have gone green to checkered, I think everybody would have had to pit for probably a splash. It wasn't going to be much. I think I was estimated around 115 on a full tank tonight. But yeah, I had plenty left at the end. I think it was about 8 laps or so. That caution fell just at the right time for us.
Now, next week is the season finale. You're going to gain a little bit of points here tonight. We'll see how that all shakes out. Headed into the last race of the season. 200 laps. You got to start at the tail. Worried about that at Nashville? 200 laps is a pretty long distance.
Yeah, 200 laps it's going to be a long race. We'll have a lot of time. I think I said it last week, with the amount of people we have shown up, it seems to dwindle down. The EOL won't be as hurtful. I mean, Hacker made it through the field pretty quick tonight too. We're just got to have to be smart and just kind of same thing, do everything that we can control and that we can next week. It's going to be a pretty big margin, I think, even with tonight, to try and make up on them. But it's been a good season for both of us, just a little bit better for him.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this final one. It's come down to, it seems like you guys battling for that top spot week in, week out. We know it's a lot of fun just racing in general, but it's got to be fun to be able to race a caliber driver like Bryan, especially as hard as you guys seem to be able to race each other. 1 week ago at Slinger, everything but pretty much dumping them, and that was a great show, and pretty much the same thing here until you just, you put the keys on the desk and checked out here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what it was tonight. I didn't get a whole lot of practice, so I wasn't sure how the race was going to go. But it's always fun racing with the guys in this league. They're what keeps bringing me back. It's just we can have such good, clean, hard race and like door to door the whole race, and there's a lot of give and take with the majority of everyone we got in here. And I love racing with them. There's tons of respect here, and it just makes it a lot of fun.
That it does. Who makes it all possible, Ryan, for you to come home victorious here at Southern National and have a shot at that championship in 1 week's time?
All the admins at NSRL putting this league on. You guys are turn 3 for broadcasting for us. DCD for my paint. All the drivers for a really good race tonight, and everyone tuning in, watching us take our cars in circles virtually.
Well, congratulations, Ryan. We look forward to 1 week from tonight. Championship night presented by ZooFab Garage, and we'll hopefully be talking to you then as well. Have a good week, buddy, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. You guys too.
There you go. Ryan Johnson picking up his 3rd win of 2024. Kelly, I believe my math was right on that. As you've caught up with the driver that has 4 wins. That was his 4th win. So they're tied for wins. But anyways, you are catching up with the driver of that number 2.
Yeah, here now with Bryan Hacker. And Bryan, you were right on Ryan Johnson for the longest time, but started to drop off during that long green flag run. What happened to your race car tonight?
I tried a different line. It works at a couple other tracks. This is not one of my better tracks. I wouldn't say I'm not good here. I just don't run it all that much, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these big high bank tracks, even though Slinger was about as high banked as it gets last week. But I tried something different that has worked before at some of these high bank tracks, hoping it would work and save tires tonight, and it did the opposite. It chewed them up. So it was faster, I think, for probably the first 15 or 20 laps out the chute there. I feel like we were quicker than Ryan. I just couldn't quite get a run to get under him and around him. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered. Even if we did get around him, probably would have taken another 10 or 15 laps, and he'd have gotten right back around us and run away. So he put a butt whooping on us tonight.
Well, next week we are going to decide the championship. It is going to get a little tighter between you and Ryan Johnson, but how are you feeling about your chances in Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. If it was, somewhere other than Nashville, maybe not, but I like Nashville. I'm traditionally pretty good there. Ryan, more or less maxed out points tonight, so that's going to bring it probably pretty tight. So, but I'm hoping, that next week it's just a situation where, he's got to max out points and we have to have a bad night and we can hold steady and not go into the race thinking we have to win it. I just want to go in and get a top 5 and hopefully we can hold on and get the trophy.
Well, it is also going to be the last of our showdown events. We have 200 laps scheduled for the Nashville Fairgrounds, and what do you think it's going to take to get the job done over that long of a race?
First off, you're going to have to keep your nose clean. That's it's a fast track, so if you get into trouble there, it can ruin your night pretty quick. So keep your nose clean. Pit strategy is certainly going to come into play. You're going to want to put, new tires on it at the optimal time. You're going to want to keep it full of fuel, so if you're not, having to make green flag pit stops if you don't have to. So, it's just I think it's going to be smart, just race a smart race as opposed to going out there and trying to land it all on the line. Of course, we'd like to get the plaque that comes along with the showdown races, but at the end of the day, we're looking to win the war, not the battle.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us. And before we let you go, we're going to give you the mic. Who would you like to thank for your second place run here tonight?
As always, Scott Austin Designs, good looking car. Carbon Junction, Aberdeen Lodge, Boulder Beer Bar, you guys for doing this. The guys at NSRL for putting this thing on and all the work that goes into it. Shout out to Ryan on the win and showing us that he's still dominant when he wants to be, and we'll let it all we'll let it all be decided next week.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll talk to you again next week, Brian. Good luck to you.
Thanks, man.
That is Bryan Hacker, our second place finisher tonight, driver of the number 2 car. But now we're going to be moving along and passing it on to the driver that held on against the pressure for third place.
Yeah, definitely was feeling the pressure here tonight. And in that number 46, it's the driver out of Indiana, Phillip Martin, going to come home in spot number 3. Phillip, and a good race, solid race for you. You're going to pick up some points as you came in 5th in the standings here this evening and come home with a nice third place run. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I just started getting tight towards the middle. I think that yellow flag deal kind of helped me out with fuel. It seemed like some of the guys got stuck sitting there trying to take more fuel, so that kind of helped me out and just tried to take care of the right front. I was hoping those two were going to start putting some pressure on each other and get the beating and banging, but it never really happened, so kind of just tried to save the right front because I don't think wasn't doing a very good job at that today.
Did you know that Gary Eschen and Scott Austin were trying to close in on you there with about 10 laps to go, and were you getting a little bit worried about the pressure from behind? And at the same time, it looked like you were starting to close in on that number 2 of Bryan Hacker.
Yeah, I definitely seen them coming. I was kind of checking back and forth and just trying to not abuse the car and not do anything stupid. Like if you got offline or drove in too hard and used up the brakes, the thing wanted to jump sideways on you, and then it was pretty tight in the middle. So I was just trying to focus on hitting the line, and yeah, a little bit. I'd catch Hacker a couple laps, and then I'd slip or do something stupid, and then he was gone again. So, I was just trying to maintain a P3 at least.
Well, you're going to come home with that P3 here tonight, and that's going to help you out in the point standings with just one race remaining, a showdown race next week to end the season. 200 laps at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It's going to be one of those races I think you're going to have to mind your P's and Q's, but also hit that strategy just right. What kind of pressure is that in the driver's seat, not only to hit your marks there, but also make the right pit call?
Yeah, the pit call there is kind of makes it fun because you just got to pay attention to it. Some guys will kind of gamble if there's a yellow early and get a couple more laps under green or something, if it goes real long. But, with 17 or 16 cars that we've had the last few weeks, it's probably going to be a couple green flag stops there. So we'll have to just play it by ear and see what happens and adjust in the middle of the race and hope for the best.
Well, we look forward to it, man. It's hard to believe the end of the season is already upon us, but looking forward to the Pro Late Model Series kept coming up, and if you are interested in racing with the NSRL, you guys will be holding some recruitment races, so people can like the Facebook page and pay attention for that.
Yeah, we're going to start rolling some stuff out here this season. The drivers actually in the top 5 in points all get to pick a racetrack for the 15 race schedule, so that's 5 right off the bat, and I think the hard charger, their overall hard charger, is going to get a pick, and the drivers get to vote on some stuff, and then all the admins get to pick on something too. So it's going to be something a little different. But unfortunately, we just can't get that schedule out yet until after next week. I'm hoping by the Friday after the finale that we'll be able to get the schedule out and start getting some PR stuff done and start getting some guys ready to go racing on January 6th for our first recruitment race.
It's going to be a good time. I might dust the old Pro Late model off, see if I can make it around a racetrack or not, but it won't be very good, I promise you.
You'll be fine. I hear Hacker's running a special scheme for next week.
Oh, boy. I can only imagine. No, but yeah, Phillip, one of the admins behind the scenes here, and I tell you, you're doing a good job behind the wheel. I know the start of the season, you were out of the seat there for a little bit. How's the injury feeling?
It's not too bad. I mean, physical therapy and all that's going pretty good. So I actually see the doctor on Wednesday. So maybe next Monday might be my first day back to work, and then jump in the seat for the race at the end of the night. So we'll see. Fingers crossed, hoping for the best. So, but overall, I feel pretty good.
Very good, sir. Who makes it all possible on this 46 car to be talking to us here in the ZooFab Garage post-race show?
Dante Curtis Designs keeps these things looking pretty good all the time. Weltmeyer Engineering, you guys for putting the races on for us. All the drivers that keep coming out and supporting us. I know it's been a long season. These cars, for some reason, this year just seem to be always on edge. So even 92-degree days. So, but yeah, all the guys for supporting us and keep coming out, and all the other admins for all the hard work they put in, and we'll get ready to go and get another season together for January.
Sounds like a plan, Phillip. Thank you for your time here. Congratulations on your third place run here tonight at Southern National in the Dixie Thunder 125. We hope to be talking to you maybe a couple of spots better next week at Nashville.
Fingers crossed, guys. Thank you.
Here you go, Phillip Martin, the driver out of Indiana. Kelly going to come home third, and that will wrap up the ZooFab Garage post-race show here from the Southern National Motorsports Park. And what was another great night of racing, and there's only one race remaining as we head into the season finale in 1 week's time. Your takeaways from Southern National.
That was definitely a fantastic race, and it came down to that tire conservation, as we were maybe alluding to in the pre-race show. And as we heard from Bryan Hacker, he just tried out a different line. It was a little bit faster, which we saw, but as he said, it burned up his tires, and that cost him the race. And a long race like we're going to have next week at the Nashville Fairgrounds, I mean, that tire conservation is going to be the key. So we'll have to see which one of these guys is going to be able to make it work and who's going to be able to take the checker flag at the end. But we're also going to have to see who's going to take the championship. I'm waiting excitedly to see what the points are going to be like after tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have, to take and see what, how close that's going to be. Could it come down to a pit road mistake? As, Phillip alluded to it, and so did Bryan, going to see some long green flag runs next week at Nashville. 200 laps a long ways. These drivers are going to get settled in and into a rhythm. Could a wrong pit strategy spoil someone's championship hopes? We're going to find out in 1 week's time.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It is going to be a great race either way. And I mean, these last few races have had some fantastic battles all throughout the field. I mean, at Slinger, we saw a battle come right down to the wire for the race lead. This week, we had a multi-car battle just outside or just on the edges of the top 5, and then it turning into basically a battle for that last podium spot.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting interesting race. In 1 week's time, we will crown a champion at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. But tonight, it was all Ryan Johnson setting a new track record, picking up the win here tonight over Bryan Hacker and Phillip Martin. Great racing all the way through the field as well. Kelly, it's been a pleasure bringing you tonight's racing race. We'll see you next week in Nashville, I hope. But until then, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Turn 3 Racing Network and the ZooFab Garage Street Stock Series presented by the North-South Racing League. Until next week, we'll see you in turn number 3. Good night, everybody.